Welcome back to This Week at ISU. I'm your host, Lennon Connor. This week we have State Dance Marathon, Women's History Month celebrations, and more. This Week at ISU starts right now. The annual State Dance Marathon took place last week. This helped fundraise for Riley Children's Hospital. The event took place with multiple competitions included with a total of $154,000 raised for donation. Here's more about State DM.
This is one of Indiana State's premier fundraising events for Riley Children's Hospital, where our students come out and they dance for 8 hours, raising money for this wonderful organization. We know that our Sycamores at Indiana State spend a lot of their time giving back to the community, and this is a very special way in which they can do that, because on this day they get to meet the kids that they're actually helping. They get to learn about Riley Children's Hospital and the difference they're making. We know this means a lot to our students, and we're so excited to be here to support them. We know that healthcare costs are rising and rising, and so it's very important that we are able to help these families that are going through these tough times to be able to give back and to raise money, and I'm so excited to find out how much our students have raised in this day of giving. I just want to say how proud I am of our Sycamores who have come out to support Riley Children's Hospital. I just gave a little talk to them to tell them my experience with having a daughter who was born premature, so that they know the difference this makes in people's lives.
I would say my experience has been a really great one. I really enjoy seeing the Riley kids and being able to raise funds for them to hopefully get better, and then seeing how the personal lives of them are impacted by the funds that we make here today and the families as well. I'm just glad that we're able to help them and also have fun and spend time with some other students that we like to spend time with in other organizations as well. This event is important for students as a whole to get involved with, because it kind of shows what just a little amount of money can do for a person, and it also kind of encourages sympathy and empathy for other people as well. And also it has great leadership opportunities, and also it's just great to go out to the community and make an impact both in the classroom and outside of the classroom as well.
Black History Month wrapped up with a political leadership panel. This event featured 3 speakers sharing their personal experiences with success in the political field as elected and public officials. They shared their career paths, insights, and finished with a Q&A. Dr. Alex Kaur, the son of Eva and Michael Kaur, presented at ISU to share his family's story on survival during the Holocaust. On the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz, he came to educate others on the power of forgiveness and honor his parents.
I'm the son of 2 Holocaust survivors, Eva and Mickey Kaur. Both my parents, unfortunately, have passed away in the last 5.5 years. And my talk today is going to be to kind of chronicle my dad's life, who has a lot of touch points here at Indiana State, as well as my mom's life, and then my life. And actually, less than a year ago, with my co-author Graham Honecker, we wrote a book called A Blessing, Not a Burden. So the main thrust of the lecture today for students and faculty is to expose them to this history. The world now is in somewhat of a precarious place, and I think it's important to remember events now 80 years ago that led to my mom's and my dad's concentration camp experiences. Both my parents are survivors of the Holocaust. My mom was one of the Mengele twins. My dad survived over 4 years of concentration camps. So the idea is to tell the students, the audience, about their past, how they overcame adversity. We all go through challenges in life, each of us, whether you're a student or somebody like me who's a podiatrist. And I think it's important to be aware of other people's struggles. And at times when people hear my lecture, they say, I didn't get an A on that test. My life's not as bad as somebody else's life. So I think it's important to put things in perspective, and hopefully what I say today allows students to kind of turn a negative into a positive, which is the real theme of my book.
Women's History Month Trivia Night was a night of competition and celebration. Students teamed up for a game of Jeopardy, putting their knowledge on women's history to the test. There were prizes for the winners and food for everyone. Holi, the Festival of Colors, was celebrated on Wolf Field. Students celebrated with music, food, and coloring white shirts with a variety of chalk. Here's more on the celebration of Holi.
It's called Holi, which is a festival of colors. Back home in India, we celebrate the good over the evil, but there are different narrations to it. But here we're celebrating to make sure that we inculcate the culture of India and celebrate with as much joy and colors as possible. Just to exchange cultures and learn about them, because it's always good to know about someone else's culture and appreciate it as much as you appreciate your own culture. So there's one that I really remember, which is called Drop of Lavender, which is going to happen in April, on April 12th. I might be wrong with the date, but it's going to be in DD1. So there's going to be drag shows, there's going to be a lot of bingo, and so on and so forth. Please do attend it.
Mike Goddard, Jim Rowe, and Daniel Pigg spoke at Setback Showcase. They talked about their leadership roles and how to guide communities. Let's hear more from this event.
So this is the Setback Showcase put on by the Network's Professional Development Program. We had President Goddard, Jim Rowe, CEO of Arlington Row, and Daniel Pigg, CEO of the Sycamore Winery, just kind of talk about setbacks that they've experienced in their professional careers and what they did to move forward and how they grew from those mistakes. I think it's important to students to see these really successful individuals just talk about how they have made mistakes in the past, how they have had setbacks in their careers, and overall it'll help them move forward in their future careers. So this is an event that goes on every year. The Networks program will put on a different kind of event every single year. Previous years we've had what was called the Ethics Conference, and so there will be something like this next year around the same time.
Social Media Insights welcome Marbella Ramos, Indiana State's social media manager and former Sycamore Video general manager. She touched on how to manage social media, keeping a cohesive page, and what type of content has better performance. The event ended with questions on social media management. Osher Lifelong Learning Institute held a Build a Better World with Dr. John Ido, an award-winning professor from Rose-Hulman. He shared information on projects that benefit and empower communities and foster engineering leadership.
My name is Pete Kikta, and I'm the coordinator of the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute here at Indiana State University. Name that we usually go by, that most people know us by, is OLLI, which is short for Osher Lifelong Learning Institute. Today we have Dr. John Adu from Rose-Hulman, and he's in charge of a program out there called Engineers Without Border. And he's speaking as part of our Wednesday series. We're here every Wednesday from 1:30 to 3 when school's in session. And different speakers. Next week we got Mayor Sackbun coming in. Following week we got Dr. John Wheat from Clinton, who is a local doctor, but not many people know, but he was a top-notch Nashville recording banjo player. He's a virtuoso, and he's going to do a presentation where he sits on a stool and plays banjo and tells his life story, so that ought to be really neat. We've had President Goddard, we've had athletic director, basketball coach. I mean, we've had all sorts of different things. And anyone on the campus is welcome. It's free, it's open to the public, so students, faculty, staff, mom and dad, whoever wants to come is welcome to come. In fact, the more people, the better.
Now, let's take a look at Indiana State info and what opportunities the campus has to offer. Here's Graham Edwards with Health Minute.
Hey Sycamores, welcome back to Health Minute. I'm Graham Edwards. This week we are discussing tornado safety. With tornado season approaching, it is important to remember how to stay safe. Tornadoes start when a hot front meets a cold front, causing a wind vortex to form. With the rapidly changing temperatures during the months of March and April, Indiana is a hot spot for tornadoes. Be sure to follow the advisories put out by your local weather station. It is important to take both tornado watches and warnings seriously. If a tornado has touched down near you, make sure to get in the safest spot in your house and stay away from the windows. The best place to go is the basement. If you don't have a basement, find a smaller room, such as a bathroom or a closet. If you're living on campus, make sure to follow the guidelines set by your building. Thank you for joining us. Check back next week for more healthy tips and tricks. Back to the studio.
Let's check out CJ Cooper for sports.
Welcome to Sports Corner. I'm your host, CJ Cooper. This is a very exciting weekend for baseball at ISU. Indiana State just doesn't lose series. 20 straight MVC series wins. The Sycamores took down Valpo 2-1 and 10-5 on Saturday, extending a streak that started back in 2022. And get this, they're 48-9 in conference play since then. That's just pure dominance. Carter Beck, 3-run bomb. Carlos Pina, 18 game on a base streak. Keegan Gurris, 14 straight reaching bases. These guys are just locked in, and it showed in that second game. 10 runs, explosive offense, and total control. And don't forget the Sycamore softball squad. They just swept Murray State with a 9-5 win in Game 2 and a 16-3 blowout in Game 3. Brayley Mills came up clutch with a bases-clearing double, and Haley Griffin was a force on the mound. Next up, Ball State on Tuesday. First pitch is at 3 p.m. You can catch it all on ESPN+. Sycamores are rolling. Please don't miss this action. Sycamores have been on fire this week. Back to the studio.
That's all the time we have this week. If you would like to get involved with Sycamore Video, or if you have any events that you would like for us to cover, send us an email at isu-sycamorevideo@indstate.edu. Check us out on our Facebook page at Sycamore Video-ISU Student Media or Sycamore Video on YouTube. See you next week, Sycamores.